What you guys can see in front of you is my entire rule-based entry system from conception all the way to entry laid out in a flowchart. I promise you guys, if you guys are struggling to find consistency and struggling to find that edge in the market, watch this video. It really is and could be a game changer for you. Disclaimer, I'm not saying this is going to change your life and be this golden sort of thing you can follow which will make you money. Okay, I promise you it's not that. All it is a simple entry method to provide consistent trading entries. That's all it is. Okay, I implore you guys to first backtest this system, backtest this process to see how it all works, because I promise you're not going to be profitable if you don't backtest. Okay, we'll get straight into it. If you guys want to access this document, you can join the Discord where you can receive a free PDF. The link is in the description. So very simple sort of layout over here, but essentially we've got the 4-hour structure, which is the basis of my strategy, all the way flowing down through a bunch of different criteria into the 1-hour entry requirements. Okay, that's all it is. It's very simple. You guys don't have to use the specific, time frames or trade requirements or whatever. Just backtest it before you figure out what time frame you want to use. But this is just what I use. Okay, so what we've got is 3 different setups to start with over here. So we've got our breakout from a consolidation on the left over here, these two. Then we've got our reversal setups in the middle and our continuation setups to the right. Okay, each of these is just one bullish, one bearish. They're the exact same setup, just one's bullish and one's bearish, and all 3 of these sort of situations are very similar. They are just a bit different. Okay, I'll put a video link right now to a video which breaks down all of these 3 systems in greater depth, but this video won't go as much into technicals. It'll more just be how you can use this sort of flow chart to help you enter trades. So we'll start on the left over here and move our way through to the right. And I'll just show you guys how each of these setups look, because basically once we've identified each of these setups, everything past here is the exact same. Okay, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. So if we start at the left, it was, if we look at it again, broken and closed above a key level, broken and closed below a key level. Okay, so we're on the 4-hour here, and this is just a consolidation, breakout, break and close above a key level, or if we look to the bottom, broken and closed below a key level. That is all that is. Okay, so we can see key level right here and a key level right there. Okay, that is literally all this first step is. If you can identify that, great. That's all you need to do. The next one, double top or head and shoulders and break and close below the previous high or low, or double bottom or inverse head and shoulders and break and close above the previous lower high. This is my reversal setups. It's very similar. Let's say we are trending, we create a double top, break and close below the previous lower high. Higher low, pardon me. Okay, the other scenario, we are trending, we create a head and shoulders, break and close below the previous higher low. Okay, so we can see previous higher low right here and previous lower, pardon me, previous higher low right here. Okay, so key thing to note here is that we actually have some structure. Okay, we're not just trending up and then we don't just sort of move around. We genuinely have a double top or a head and shoulders. Okay, same thing for the reverse. We have price trending down and then we create a double bottom right here, break and close above the previous lower high, or we have a head and shoulders, break and close above, inverse head and shoulders above the previous lower high right here. Okay, if you guys are confused by all of this, I would suggest to check out the video I linked before to explaining all of these 3 setups. Okay, the next one, if we move to the right, is the continuation setup, which is very simple. break and close above a previous higher high, break and close below a previous lower low. Okay, so this one is just price is trending and we break and close above a previous higher high. It's literally it. Break and close above the previous higher high, or we're trending down and we break and close below the previous lower low, pardon me. Okay, so from these three sort of scenarios, we got the breakout from the consolidation, we've got the reversal, and we've got the trend continuation. From each of these setups, we can identify a directional bias in the market. Okay, so let me explain to you. This scenario here will be bullish because we've created a new high. This scenario will be bearish because we've created a new low. This scenario will be bearish because we've created a new lower low and broken the trend. This scenario will be bearish because we've created a new lower low and broken the trend. This will be bullish, broken the trend, created a new higher high. This one will be bullish, broken the trend, created a new higher high. Bearish, lower low, new created, continuation, bullish, higher high, trend continuation. That's it. Okay, so that's all we want to be able to take from this sort of thing. And then we also really want to note where these key levels are. So in this one, it's the consolidation level, the key level. This one, same thing, it's the consolidation level. This one, it's the previous higher low, which we want to take note of. Same with this, previous higher low. This one, it's the previous lower high we want to take note of. Previous lower high. This one, previous higher high. This one, previous lower low. Okay, so from this, all we want to see is the directional bias in the market and which key levels to start looking at. Okay, with the directional bias, that is the only, sort of way we're going to trade. If it's bullish, we're only taking buys. If it's bearish, we're only taking sells. Okay, so that is all of my setups. Now, what I've got here is none. It moves to wait. So if you don't see any of these setups clearly laid out, my rule is just to wait. Okay, even if there's some ambiguous ones where it's a bit difficult to figure out what's actually going on, just wait. Okay, if you're not sure what's going on, there's no point trying to analyze the entire market. Okay, you only have to find your setups in the market, nothing else. Okay, so let's say price is consolidating and it's not really doing much. What do? You wait. Let's say price is trending up, but it hasn't broken the previous higher high. So it's doing this. What do? You wait. Okay, unless you see price break and close above or below one of the key levels that is in your rules in the flowchart, you just wait. Okay, there's no point trying to find out exactly what's going on. There's always going to be a setup that comes along. Okay, so now we move into sort of all of the same. Okay, and what I mean by that is for each of these ones, we want to wait for the 1 hour to come back to the key level, which I highlighted before. Okay, so for these ones, it's just the sort of key level that we broke out of, either to the bottom or to the top. This one, it's the previous higher low. This one, it's the previous lower high. This one, it's the previous higher high. And this one, it's the previous lower low. Okay, so we can see the next step. Wait for the 1 hour to come back to the key level broken, previous higher low, previous lower low, lower high, higher high, lower low. Okay, so that's the next step. All we got to do is wait for the 1 hour to push back to this key level, and this key level, wait for the 1 hour to push back to the, let me just draw this out a bit better. Pardon me. God damn it. Wait for the 1 hour to, what is going on here? So let's say we have this. We just want to wait for the 1 hour to push back to the previous structure right there. Okay, so the previous lower high. In this case, in the other case, we want to see push back to the previous lower high. Pardon me. We want to wait for the previous higher low in this case. Okay, so that's all we want to do. Previous lower low. We want to see price push back here, and we want to see price push back to the previous higher high right there. Okay, that is all. So follow these steps according to what the initial 4H is. Okay, so As soon as I see this 4-hour break and close below or above a key level, I flip to my entry time frame and I place an alert at that key level and just wait for price to come back to that level. Okay, I hope you guys are still with me. Also, don't, hesitate to ask any questions. I will try answer all of them. Okay. So what we have here is probably the next step. So these are all pretty much the exact same step. They're just one's for a bullish and one's for a bearish setup. Okay. We can see we have, double bottom, inverse head and shoulders, break and close above the previous lower high. So that's going to be bullish. And, same with this, break and close above the previous higher high, it's going to be bullish. So they stem to the same one, whereas these are bearish, broken and closed below a key level, double top or head and shoulders, break and close below a previous high low. So these are both going to be bearish, so we need to look for bearish behavior. And same with this one, it's going to be bullish, this one's going to be bearish. So these are all the same. One's just bullish, one's just bearish. So you guys are probably looking at it and you have no clue what's going on. But I made a video a few months ago, which I will link again. And this one is about structure, behavior, momentum. Okay. Essentially, what we've done by using the 4-hour structure is we've identified the overall bias in the market by identifying the structure in the market. So we've either identified bullish structure or bearish structure. This step that we have down here is price behavior. Okay, so this is the behavior of price, which is the next step. Then we move to momentum. Okay. Also, I forgot to note, I don't know why people think, I always get asked this, what do you do if the 1 hour doesn't come back to the key level? Don't trade. Okay, it's as simple as that. If you're a break and retest trader, you're not going to start taking trades when price doesn't retest. Okay, so if it doesn't come back to the key level, don't trade. Just wait. Or the trade's gone. Okay, it doesn't matter. There's going to be a new setup. Okay, so let's break this down. I'll first start with the bullish and then we'll move to the bearish. So is 1H behavior bullish? Look for lower low and lower high or break below a previous higher low. Okay, so I'm going to ignore these 3 setups and I'm just going to focus on whether we had a bullish structure or a bearish structure. Okay, so I'm going to be focusing on this one. Going to be focusing on this one, this reversal setup, bullish reversal, or this bullish continuation. Okay, and keep in mind where these key levels are. This one, this key level, this one, the previous lower high, and this one, the previous high. Okay, so this box that I've drawn right here is the key level, and right now we are on the 1 hour time frame. So 4 hour has broken above and closed, created that new higher high. Okay. At this stage, we have bullish structure. We've created a new high and we are now flipping to the 1 hour. Okay. So the 1 hour is back. Now we've noticed price has come back to the key level on the 1 hour. Okay. But we need to identify the behavior of this market. And we need to look for lower lows and lower highs or break below a previous high low. If any of that is present, the behavior is not bullish, it's bearish, and we need to then move here to wait for double tops. Okay, so what I mean by that is price is either going to come down to this level straight away with just a couple of bearish candles. Okay, that is simple. That's what we want. That means we have a no. Okay, that means no because these are not present. Pardon me, that got that wrong. That means it's a yes. Okay, and it's entry time. Is the 1H behavior bullish? Yes. Okay. Why? Because price makes a higher high and then a higher low straight away. Okay. As soon as we see that with no sort of interference or structure in between, we can then move to yes, entry timeframes. Then we look for these, which I'll go over in this just a second. Okay. The other scenario is price is not going to come down that cleanly. It's going to break out of here. And remember on the 1 hour time frame right now, and it's going to create some structure and start making lower lows and lower highs. Okay. So what we can identify here is look for lower low and lower high or break below the previous high low. So what do we have? Price break below the previous high low, plus we have lower lows right there, and lower highs right here. Okay, so what this indicates is that the 1 hour is behaving bearishly. Okay, so even though the 4 hour we've identified to be bullish, the 1 hour is not bullish. The 1 hour is bearish. Okay, so the 1 hour is bearish, so we can't take a trade yet. Okay, so what do? We say no, then we move to if no, wait for price to potentially create a double bottom or a double top on the level. If not present, no trade. If present, then you move to the entry. Okay, and I'll break all of this down for now. What I want you guys to understand now is whether price breaks the level and then comes straight back, or whether price breaks the level, creates some sort of structure, any structure. Okay, it could be price breaks above and creates something like this. Okay, so let's say the key levels here. Why can't we trade this yet? Why can't we trade off the single touch? Because we break below the previous higher low. Break below the previous higher low. Or if we have lower lows and lower highs. Okay, the basic rule I have, any structure is a no. The behavior is not bullish. Okay, I hope you guys can sort of grasp this concept, but feel free to ask any questions. Okay, so next let's move on to, is the behavior bearish? Okay, so this is for broken and closed below a key level, double top, head and shoulders close below the previous high low, or break and close below the previous lower low. Okay, so we can see we have the bearish version. This one says, is 1H behavior bearish? Look for higher highs and higher lows, or break above the previous lower high. So this is the exact same setup. Okay, so let's imagine now we're focusing on this one, break below the previous lower low, or structure, break below the previous high low, and break below the previous lower low. So we have bearish structure. So we want to identify bearish behavior. So one of two things, price could break below the level and then come back straight away. That's perfect. That's what we want. Price is making a lower low and a lower high. We can expect a lower low to continue, and we have bearish behavior. So we have a yes. Bearish behavior, yes. We can move to yes. Okay. The other scenario is similar to what I talked about. Price breaks below a level and then creates some sort of structure, and we do not have bearish behavior. So imagine we're on the 1 hour. This is the key level right here. Straight away, we can see that price breaks above the previous lower high, breaks above the previous lower high, okay, or it makes higher highs and higher lows. So we can see, we can see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So as soon as we see price break above a previous lower high, we can instantly see that price is creating a counter trend against the overall 4-hour structure of the market, and the behavior is not bearish, so we cannot trade. Okay, so I hope you guys can understand this concept of, is the behavior bearish? Yes or no? Is the behavior bullish? Yes or no? And lining the behavior up with the overall structure of the market. Okay, the way I like to think about it, which is very easy, if price breaks out and creates any sort of structure, doesn't matter if it's, sort of like the littlest thing like that, just wait for a double bottom. Okay, you say the behavior is not bearish or not bullish, pardon me. The only way you can enter on that single touch, price breaks, comes back, and then continues. That's all it is. Okay, so let's say we've identified yes or no, and we can understand whether the behavior is bullish or bearish, and the behavior lines up with the 4-hour. So if it's a yes, we can move to our entry confirmations, which are weak rejections and engulfing candles. So let's break this down. We have identified bullish behavior. So 4H initially breaks out, creates a higher high. 1H comes back to the level. No structure is formed. It is just a clean retest bullish behavior. So that is where we're at. We've identified, yes, the behavior is bullish. Now we need to look for weak rejections and an engulfing candle. So weak rejections, very simple. I want to see, not like that. I want to see a strong weak rejection back down into this level. And then I want to see you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. I could see multiple wick rejections down here. I could see one. Key thing, I just want to see the sellers try push this down and the buyers come back into control. Okay. The next thing I want to see is an engulfing candle. Okay. So it could be price, you know, actually creates a wick and then goes on to create an engulfing candle, or it could be price creates a sort of hammerhead candle where it just creates a wick and then the next candle is an engulfing candle. Doesn't quite matter for me as long as I see wicks and an engulfing candle. Okay. So if we see a wick and an engulfing candle, best case scenario, we enter with a buy stop above that level, above the close of that engulfing candle, stop loss safely below the lows of the wicks, and I target a 1 to 3. Okay. This is completely just my strategy. You guys should test it and see what works best for you. Okay. So that's best case scenario. We've identified bullish behavior and we see wick rejections and an engulfing candle. Okay. Let's look at the bearish version. So price breaks out, creates a lower low, comes back to the key level straight away. No structure is formed. It is just a nice clean retest. The next thing we want to see wick rejections right here and an engulfing candle, this one to be bearish. Okay. So the exact same thing. It could be, you know, price creates a, you know, sort of wick and then an engulfing candle as well, or it could be multiple wicks. Key thing, I want to see the sellers, the buyers try push this market back, but the sellers are in control and push it back down. Okay. If you guys are unsure about, you know, how these actually look, check out some of my other videos. You know, this video is not quite about that. Okay. So if that happens, we can enter a sell stop below the lows of the previous lower engulfing candle, pardon me, and I take my 1 to 3. Okay. Obviously, again, this is completely just my strategy. I think you guys should use your own risk management and whatever. Okay. So let's say these wick rejections and an engulfing candle is not present. So if you get back these, let's say, you know, price creates an engulfing candle, but there is no wick rejections. I'm not going to take the trade. Okay. Simple as that. I'm just not going to take the trade, and I move to wait for price to potentially create a double bottom or a double top on that level. So we don't get wick rejections the first time. Let's see if price can come back and do the same thing, create wick rejections and an engulfing candle. Okay. So you can see here, price comes back to the level for a double top, double bottom. Then we move back to this thing. Are there wick rejections? Is there engulfing candle? And this is on the second touch. Okay. So this is on this touch right here. We still want to see wick rejections and an engulfing candle right here before we enter. Okay. If we don't see it, we just don't enter. So we want to see an engulfing candle right there. And again, if not present, then you don't trade. Okay. So you don't wait for triple bottoms or whatever. If it's not present that time, don't trade. Okay. Same thing with a, bearish one. Let's say we have wicks this time, but we don't have an engulfing candle. I'm not going to take the trade. Okay. I'm just going to wait for price to create a double bottom and then see if we can have it happen again. I want to see wick rejections and I want to see an engulfing candle. Okay. That's when I enter. That's when I see all of this sort of fulfilled. Okay. So that's it so far. The other thing is, if no, wait for a double bottom or double top. So let's break this down. Let's say bullish, price breaks up, and then we have this sort of structure being created that we talked about before, and we can identify the behavior on the 1 hour is not bullish anymore. Okay, it's not bullish, it's bearish. So, but the 4 hour is still bullish. Okay, so the 4 hour, we flip to the 4 hour and we just see price creating this. Pardon, not that. Price creating this. Okay, so this is the 4 hour. This is the 1 hour. We can see the 1 hour is creating a little counter trend. Okay, so we've identified, is the behavior bullish? No. What do? Wait for price to potentially create a double bottom or a double top on that level. If not present, no trade, wait. Price comes back to the level, then we move back to our entries. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. We want to see price create a double bottom, to see that behavior flip, and then we want to see wick rejections and an engulfing candle right there. Okay, simple as that. If we don't see it, not present, we don't trade. Okay, simple as that. Let's say we have the bearish version, price breaks below, creates a lower low, then starts creating structure like this, could even be like that. We need to wait for a double top. Why? Because we've identified the behavior in this market is not in line with the 4-hour and it's bearish. Okay, so this is bullish behavior, which is not what we want. So we wait for a double top, wait for price to create that weak rejection and that engulfing candle right there. Okay. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys sort of understood it. And again, you know, I've tried to explain it the best I can, but there's obviously going to be some things which are still discrepant. My best piece of advice, if it's not clear, just wait. Okay. If it's not quite, you know, you're not really sure what's on offer, just wait for the next trade. There's always going to be a better opportunity. The most important thing I think within this is this 1 hour behavior, bullish or bearish. Okay. So just remember, if any structure is formed on that breakout, so let me just double clarify this. Any structure formed on that breakout, the behavior is not bullish and you wait for, you know, the double bottom or the double top. The key thing, try and find the behavior to be in line with the structure, and then the engulfing candles and wick rejections is that momentum shift. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't hesitate to join the Discord. You can get a 7-day free trial. And yeah, please like and subscribe. See you guys soon.